this story came out from Askapol. It says the top Democrat on HPSCI, Representative Himes, laughs off Anna Paulina's new secrets task force as a conspiracy subcommittee, but says HPSCI's investigated UAPs a lot, though never JFK. There's a shit ton on UAP. Okay, great. And that's from Askapol. Shout out to Askapol. Okay, great. Guess what? I got something to play for y'all. So this press conference was held a few weeks ago. When was it? February 11th. I streamed it on the channel. And I'm a prophet. Because a part of me saw this coming. And listen to what I say in this little clip from the live stream before the press conference is held, by the way. It's going to be, right? This task force, that's what the announcement is, a task force headed up by Luna to investigate, UFOs, JFK, MLK, what did they say? Just, interesting topics and promote transparency, right, from the government to the American people about some of these things. Are they going to see it like, I can already see the news, as I'm saying this out loud, the news is just going to be like, conspiracy task force, right? That's what they're going to call this. The conspiracy task force has been put together. Because if they, yeah. Conspiracy task force. I called it. I knew that this wasn't going to be taken seriously. It's like I literally called it. That's literally what he said. Because I knew as soon as they started naming out the things they were going to be looking at, I thought, oh, God, they're going to use that against them. They're just going to call it a conspiracy task force and laugh it off and be done with it. Right. And if it was that obvious to me, because I'm an idiot and I figured that out, I'm sure a lot of other people figured that out. I'm sure I'm not the only one that said that. But I said it because I knew that this would happen. And it's kind of one of those things that's almost worse than trying to do something about it. Because you have the illusion of trying to do something about it. So then you just forget it. Well, it's being taken care of. Nothing to worry about. We took care of that problem. So you turn and face other things. But actually, it's not being taken care of. And if nothing would have happened, you'd still be harping about it, right? So it's almost worse. It's like the illusion of action is worse than no action, right? We would probably be better off if there was no task force, or they use this as an opportunity and get fired up to actually do something, right? Because it can't just, please don't let it just be a hall of mirrors here, right? Which is what it sounds like we're doing. Because this is exactly, why would this be any different for the UAP files? Because they're going to investigate UAP, right? So how is this going to be any different? Are online UFO influencers going to get UFO files first? Are we going to get flown up to the White House? First of all, I'm going to say no, so don't worry. But that would be so stupid to give it to online UFO influencers like myself. Files first and then put us out, right? Like what? How is that transparency? Why do they get access to it first? To disseminate the information they want you to, right? So again, almost like Project Blue Book in a way, it could be worse, this task force. It could damage things even worse as we're trying to get closer to the truth of what some of these files are. But, at the same time, uncover UAP and files. Like, what are they going to release? How is a binder coming out of, about UFOs even going to help us? It's almost making me just see the whole thing. Like, there is no file, you know what I mean, on a shelf that says the real truth about UFOs. And it's just nicely summarized, up to date, by the way, just up to date with everything in it, what are we going to get? They haven't, they probably destroyed all these files, because anything that's going to come out, if in any way, shape, or form it makes someone in the government look bad, or someone that's in the chain to make sure that information gets out, what do you think is going to happen? They're just going to try to cover it up, And listen, I'm so skeptical about all this stuff, but even I see this as like just ridiculous. I just don't know. This gives me zero hope for this task force and what they're going to do with uncovering UAP. What are the hearings going to look like? What's going to happen? I mean, it's kind of the first hearing's coming up, and it's about JFK. It just gives me no hope for UAP. That's just the bottom line. Seeing how they're treating the Epstein, the very first thing they're doing. I mean, did they not think optically giving it to those online influencers and sending them out with the information? Did they not think that was going to look bad? I mean, what were they thinking? Right. And then again, the task force, Luna comes out. I didn't even know this was happening. I mean, what? So again, what hope do we have for the hearing coming up? It's almost like it's all for show. Hey guys, I'm fighting for this. But it's like all the time is spent in marketing, promotion, setting up the task force, setting up all the things, doing it, but not the actual work. It's like you got a great restaurant, you decked it out, amazing art, chandeliers, cool little knickknacks, beautiful seating, luxury, right? And got all these beautiful ingredients, amazing stuff. No chef. Yeah, it's pointless. Right? It's almost pointless. So I don't know. Are things going to change? Are they going to get fired up by this and want to do something different? Or are they just going to be held up? And what are they doing if they're being held up? Right? Like, what actions are they taking to make sure they don't get held up? Because a lot of this is planned. And for Luna and the task force not to know that this was being planned like this with the online influencers is kind of interesting. Again, I'm not here to be partisan or political, especially not partisan politics, but Luna is conservative and on the right, and those are all right-wing influencers. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't know. I don't know about that. All right. And then on top of that, it's not even the bombshell documents you think they're walking out with. Right? It's just all a joke. It's all smoke and mirrors. And honestly, the best thing they can do is make you think that they took care of the problem or are taking care of the problem, right? You just think it's done. It's okay. It's being solved. It's being worked on. We can rest easy now.